Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and this is our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 456. This is a wow class. Some things happened in the past week that I didn't know were going to happen. We have a surprise launch that is almost a month early. I have got so much to share with you and so much to show you that there really is not going to be any dilly-dallying about. Do they still say dilly-dallying? Yeah, well, my parents did, so no dilly-dallying about. I have winner chicken dinner for you, and then we're going to launch right into it because I have the Chapter 3 release from Tim Holtz a month early. I don't know why. I know that it was scheduled to launch at the end of July, almost like July 30th. And then this week, well, you know what? I'm going to do winner chicken dinner first because then I have to show you the Tim Holtz. This YouTube isn't about Tim Holtz at all, and I don't know when he's going to be doing his live chat. But you know what? Before we get there, let's do winner chicken dinner. That way I can move on to that, the Tim Holtz product, and then I can move on to what our YouTube class is really about today, which is beautiful product from Studio Light and creative expressions. Okay, I'm gonna grab these. Wait. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna grab these just so I have them. All right, so let's do winner chicken dinner. Now, how do you get to be a winner chicken dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple? It's so easy. First, you have to subscribe to our channel. Just hit the subscribe button. Easy peasy. There's like a little heart with a little SMS over here. Just run your cursor over it, click subscribe, and that's your first step. Next you have to post a comment below. Hello, below me, hello. Not to the side. If you are joining us during the premiere of my class, we always live chat Saturday morning, 8 a.m. sunny California time, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 4 p.m. in the United Kingdom. So if you want to live chat with all of us, by all means join us every Saturday morning, but the live chat comments do not count. It's got to be below. Now you're not going to see your comment right away. No, we hold comments for approval, and SMS guy James, he's the one who does the approvals, and if he has time, he answers your questions. I know he answered a few of them last week. So if he has time, he answers your questions, and he will approve your comment, and as long as it's polite, kind, nice, can be about anything you want to talk about, as long as it is something that everybody else would agree, oh, that's something nice to say. Or a question, and hopefully not Mr. SMS, but SMS guy James can answer it for you. Once we approve your comment, you go into the running to be a winner chicken dinner. Our software randomly selects 2 people every week. You get a $25 gift card to Scrapbooking Made Simple to buy something that will just make your heart happy. That's a wahoo kachoo. So we have 2 winners this week. Our first winner is... It is a winner chicken dinner day. I can pronounce both of these names. Maybe that's why James didn't apologize to me. Last week he said, oh, Mom, I'm so sorry. The names that were selected, wow. Okay, our first winner is Karen. Hello, Karen Reeves. How are you today? Is that you? Because if it is, you are a winner chicken dinner. And boy, do you have a lot to choose with your $25 winnings. We've currently got going on our Creativity Starts with the Crafters Workshop event. We've got new Tim Holtz for you, plus we've got the YouTube Yummies for you. Tons to choose from. You make your heart happy. Our second winner is Connie. Connie Sue Larson. Hello, Connie Sue Larson. How are you doing? You are a winner chicken dinner. Are you oh so excited? I hope so. So I've got Karen and Connie. Your $25 is already in your online account. It's there. Be frivolous. Buy something you would never buy for yourself. Explore, be courageous and creative all at the same time. Try something that you think, well, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't like this, but you never know. You've thought about it, but you just haven't bought it yet. Well, this is your time because it's free. You want to try watercoloring and you've never tried it before? Be what is it? It's courageous, creative and courageous at the same time. Did I just come up with a new word? Anyway, enjoy. You've got $25 to spend, Karen and Connie Sue. So how are we going to celebrate you? We're going to do the winner chicken dinner dance. Are you ready? You're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, ka-choo. For you. I'm so happy for both of you. And really, just don't buy adhesive. I know you might need it, but still get something that challenges you. Takes you out of your comfort zone a little bit. It's on my dime, so go ahead, try. All right, so what do we have for you today? Well, I'm going to start with the new latest and greatest from Tim Holtz. His Chapter 3 Sizzix launch is here. And we started selling it on Friday, and we have it in store, we have it online, and we have it value priced, and we have freebies to go with it. It was so unexpected. This launch was supposed to happen at the end of July. I think July 30th. I'm not 100% positive, but I think that's the date that it was supposed to go live, was July 30th. We get a call that it's been moved up to now. I mean, we literally had 2 days to figure all of it out, get it all loaded, get it here. Oh my gosh. And I have no idea why Tim decided to move it up early. I can only speculate. And my speculation is that the product landed. It was here. So he wants you to enjoy it. He wants you to get creative with it. He wants to show you all the fabulous things that his makers make with it. And so he launched it early. You know what? If it's here, I agree. Let's have at it. Let's play. And so we have it for you today. And I'm going to run through it. We had no time to make samples. The girls literally got 3 samples made of each collection, and thank goodness for the SMS girls. They're fast, they're simple, they are not stellar. I mean, well, to me they're stellar because they're done. I didn't expect the SMS girls to be able to make any samples, and bless their heart, really. They sat down and they got 3 samples together for each collection for you. And I mean, it was just such a last minute thing. We also have his new plates, his cutting plates. Now I'm going to talk about these a little bit because they are the exact same cutting plates as I did last week, only under the Sizzix brand. So remember, I had those multi-color or multi-sized cutting plates, the standard one, and then there was a 6x6 and then a narrow one under the Sizzix brand. Turns out Tim has the same. They're exactly the same except for the packaging. It's the only difference. The color's the same, everything's the same, but the packaging. So when we launched them for Sizzix, we did them at a really great deal. I think we did them at like 30% off, which was crazy. For Tim, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to offer it to you in the 2-pack like we did last week if you happen to really want them, but then I've got a free gift for you as well. On top of that, I've got his new collections, 2 new collections, and we've bundled them. You can get them open stock if you want. You can get the bundle, which is where the biggest value is going to be, and we've thrown in a free distress product for you as well. So, I mean, it's all wahoo ka-choo, and that is before I even start with the most beautiful, beautiful product from Studio Light and Creative Expressions. Florals, and they just make my heart sing. So I'm going to tilt down. I'm going to start with the Tim product. I'm just going to show you. We're not going to do anything. I'm just going to show it to you, show you the prices, show you the bundles, let you know that expedited shipping does qualify, assuming your order qualifies. I mean, you have to have a qualifying order to get expedited shipping, and how you get expedited shipping, all of that will be listed in that category, the Tim Holtz Spectacular Sizzix Event Chapter 3. It's on our site. If you meet all those qualifications, yay, we're going to get your product out to you ASAP, and it'll give you a date that will start shipping. The product is here. So I'm going to tilt on down. We're going to get started for today. I'm going to start with the Tim Holtz plates, then I'll move into his bundles, and then we'll start with the class. So I'll get through it as quickly as I possibly can, because really it was so unexpected, and I don't want to take away from Studio Light or Creative Expressions, and I don't want to take away from our very, very first Creativity Starts with the Crafters Workshop event, which is also going on, which is beautiful and also value priced. So, and there is a YouTube on that. So let me start. I'm going to tilt on down. Are you ready? Let's start with Tim today. Okay, let's zoom on in. Okay, so to begin with, Tim has new plates. So these are prototypes. They're not fabulous, and they're extended. They're longer than his standard cutting plates. These are exclusively for the Sidekick because they are thicker. So they're extended in length, longer than what you currently have. And we have them, they retail for $7.99. Our price is $6.39. They're brown in color. And if you have a Sidekick or a Sidekick coming and you want extended plates, they are here. So we'll have these on sale. They're on sale right now. So if you have, like I said, a Sidekick or you want extended plates, here they are. Okay, that was easy peasy. Now we have the plates that I did last week. So the plates that I did last week are right here. So it was one clear plate, one 6x6 plate, and this is the size of the extended plate, I believe, from Tim, that is brown in color but thicker. This will not work with your Sidekick. So we did these last week, and because I thought you needed 2 of everything, because really you're going to send through 2 of these, and you can see mine are already used, 2 of these, or you're going to send through your machine 2 of these, and then you get 2 fresh, regular plates. We put a bundle together last week where you got 2. You got 2 full sets of everything at 30% off. So they come packaged 1, 1, 1. So you got that. And then you got another complete package. That way you had 2 of each size cutting plate. Did not know that Tim Holtz was going to be releasing his. Had no clue, but he did. And I want to show them to you because they are exactly the same. The only difference is it has his brand on it. The colors are the same. They're not any unique brown or green or anything like that. So if you got the plates last week, the Sizzix plates, that the only difference is the front. You don't need these. You don't. You already have them. There's nothing unique or special about these other than it says Tim Holtz on it. But maybe you didn't get them last week and you want to get these. Well, I wanted to offer you a value as well. So I didn't want to just put these on sale. Instead, what I thought we would do is throw in his dimensional plate as well. So this has a crease in the middle. This lets you cut something and it won't cut the center. So like a butterfly, the wings will come up. It's really a very cool plate. So we're going to do the bundle where you get 2 sets because I believe you need 2 of everything. I do. So we're going to do the 2 sets and the dimensional plate. Regular price would be $40.97. Your price is $31.98. That gets you everything. Now, if you bought these last week under the Sizzix brand for, I think, $23 and some odd cents, you don't have to get these. There's nothing different about them. They are exactly the same. But if you didn't get them last week and you want them and you also want the Tim dimensional plate, well, here's your opportunity for your $31.98. Basically, we are giving you this for free. Wahoo Kachoo. So that talks about Tim's plates. Already online, ready to go. Let's talk about his bundles. So I have bundle number 1 here, and it is a 5-pack. It's called Textures and Numbers. It retails for $77.95. Your price is $51.77. So you've got, let's pull it out. I've got several items in there, including a free gift. So when we have the new embossing folder from Tim, it's a 3D. We have another new embossing folder from Tim, also a 3D. We've got a third embossing folder. This one's a little bit older. I have got a new alphabet from Tim. I've got a pack of sticky grids from Tim. And we are going to include a free distress product. Now, it could be a stain, it could be an oxide re-inker, it could be a glaze, an embossing glaze, it could be a distress re-inker, it could be just about anything. But we're going to include one of these in your bundle. It could be any of the colors. No idea, you get what you get, but it's free. So when you take all of these products and put them together, all of these Tim products and put them together, including the sticky grid and a distress product, it averages about $77.95. We're selling it all to you for $51.77. That's an amazing value. All of it. And it's fabulous. Who doesn't need sticky grids? I mean, really, right? Amazing. And who doesn't love 3D embossing folders? So this is bundle number 1. And a few of the samples that the girls, bless their heart, were able to get done. So there's your embossing folder and your letters. They literally did these in like 15 minutes. I don't know how they were able to get it done. Here's your other new 3D embossing folder and your letters. And then your older embossing folder. Just to give you an idea of what they look like. So that's bundle number 1. Then we have bundle number 2. Bundle number 2 is called Envelopes and Labels. It retails for $143.94. That's when you include the price of the free gift. Your price for everything is $97.96. So $97.96 is going to get you everything in here, and the distressed item is free. What do we have in here? Well, let's see. So I've got a Thinlits set called Collector. Little coin envelopes and tickets and tags, and just darling. Claire loves the little coin envelope. I have got another Thinlits set. This one is called Post Oval. That would make sense, right? I've got another Thinlits set. This one is Vintage Labels. I have got adhesive sheets. I have got a Thinlits alphabet set, lowercase. And I have got our specimen. So this is new. You're going to get all of this. And a free distress something, whether it be a stain or a ink pad or a re-inker or a glaze, whatever, you're going to get it. All in the bundle. I'll make sure real quick. Whoop, 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 whoop. I just want to be absolutely certain that I said the right thing. Yes, sticky grids. Okay, I wanted to be sure. So this is bundle number 2. It's called Envelopes and Labels. Retail price is $143.94. Your price is $97.96. Now you need to know that these bundles are exclusive to Scrapbooking Made Simple. You're not going to be able to go just anywhere and find a bundle like this. We put them together ourselves. We work with Ellison. We pull product out of our own stock to make it even a bigger value add for you, because we really want you to get the most for your money. And my gosh, if you're spending $100 on something, you really want to feel like you got something for your $100. But if you love Tim Holtz, here it is. It's here, it's available, and we've got a free gift for you. So let me show you the samples. And again, bless the girls, because I don't know how they got these done so quickly. Here's the little coin envelope. The little numbers come with it, and the little tag comes with it, and look at how cute is that, right? So Claire, who does junk journals, she was all over this. She's like, oh yeah, that's for me. And then using some of the labels. And then using, I believe, part of the postal. So we have Chapter 3, Tim Holtz, already online, already on sale, value priced. I'm going to tilt up. I'm going to say we only have so much. So when the bundles are gone, the bundles are gone. Can you buy open stock and still get expedited shipping? Absolutely. Can you check out as a pay later and still get expedited shipping? Yes, you have to call us and pay before the date on in that category. There's a date that says your order must be paid for by. So if you do a pay later, you're not going to get a PayPal invoice from us. You have to call us to make payment on that. If you do a pay later, we're going to assume that you want to pay later. You cannot mix product from this YouTube and the Tim Holtz collection. Everything has to be on separate orders if you want it expedited. So if you like the Crafter's Workshop product and you want that expedited, that's one order. If you love Tim Holtz and you want that expedited, that's another order. If you love the product, the Studio Lighter, the Creative Expressions that I'm going to show you today, that's a third order if you want them expedited. If you don't care about expediting and you just want to throw it all into one order, by all means, it'll just ship out in our normal shipping time frame. All right, so that was a lot, and I haven't even started with what we have for you today. And that's what I'm going to do now. So again, I don't know when Tim's going to be doing his live YouTube. I don't know. As I said before, I'm not that high up on the food chain, but I'm sure it will be coming soon. The beautiful thing is you will have already ordered all of that product, and it's even possible that you'll have it by the time he does his class, because I don't know when he's going to do his class. If he does his class 2.5 weeks from now, it'll already be shipped to you. Wahoo Kachoo. You know, if he does his class tomorrow, well, at least you have it on order. I just don't know when it's going to happen. So I'm sure you follow him, keep up with him, and I know he brought the launch early for your benefit to give you the most opportunity to create with his beautiful products. If you love Tim Holtz, well, you got Chapter 3 looking right at you saying, hello. Okay, I'm going to tilt down, and now we're going to start today on what was supposed to be the normal Saturday with Stacy YouTube class. Who knew? Oh, it was very stressful the past couple days getting everything loaded to the site and making sure that we had it here on time, and it was just very, very stressful. All right, here, be happy. Right? That's what it says. Be happy. I agree. I'm going to be happy. I'm happy everything is loaded to the website. Isn't that a beautiful card? So easy to do. And we're going to start super easy. But then we're going to get a little bit harder. A little more progressively harder. Not that you can't do it. No, it's just a little more technique-y. And then, well, I might do this one in the beginning because this is just beautiful. So we're going to be playing with stencils today. We're going to be flip-flopping between the Jamie Rogers collection from Creative Expressions and the new layering, well, they're not really layering, the new stencils from Studio Light, but there's some techniques that I'm hoping that you see that maybe you haven't seen before, and there's some product that I'm hoping you see that you go, I had that and didn't know I could do that with it, or you say, wow, I really like that, or you say, nope, not for me. Sometimes it's more important to show you so you see what you don't waste your money on. I don't want you to spend your money on something that you don't like. When you go to the store, often you're guessing do I really want this neon? I don't know, what color really is it? What would I do with neons? They're so pretty, ooh, but do I need them? And then you buy them and you never use them. Today, you're going to see me use neons, and you may say, yep, I was right to not purchase those. Or you may say, now that I've seen them, I think I like them. I don't know. And because they're Hero Arts, you might be able to find them at your local independent retail store. Wahoo Kachoo. Okay, where am I going to start? You know what? I'm going to start with the neons. So I've got new stencils from Creative Expressions, and this is Jamie Rogers and his collection. They are beautiful stencils, and you get 3 individual sizes, which is really, really nice. The 6x6 is a great all-over size, but then wait till you see some of the samples we've done with some of the smaller. Just amazing. Let me open them up. They are easy to use. They are not a layering stencil. But my gosh, how pretty are they? And I think I'm going to start with the neons. And I'm going to start on white paper, and I think I'm going to do the big size. So I'm going to bring over a piece of white paper. I'm going to cut it down a little bit because I certainly don't need it to be this big. And I'm going to play with the Hero Arts neons because neons are a little scary for people. They're like, ooh, bright, bright, bright. And they can be. But I think I'm going to do a few things with them and show you how they can not be so scary and not be so bright. I'm going to tape down my stencil. And I'm going to work as if like I'm dancing and nobody's watching. I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to feel perfection is needed. I want you to dance like nobody's watching when you stencil. I want you to let go, let loose, let your hair down, shake it out, and see what you can do. Always keeping in your mind that you are working on paper. It's just paper. Paper has 2 sides. If you don't like what you did, turn it over. But I'm one who says, finish what you start. Even if you look at it and you go, oh no, I don't like it at all. Finish what you start. So first thing, I think I'm going to show you how bright these are. Hello, neon. So I used neons the other week from Fine Tech. Same thing, they were beautiful. But I think most people see the word neon and instantly love it or don't. It's really, a lot of people aren't on the fence about neon. They're like, oh yeah, give it up. I want it. I love it. I need it. And others are like, oh no, I cannot. Well, let's see. Let's see if that holds true. You'll let me know at the end of today's class, right? So I've taped down my stencil, my Creative Expressions Jamie Rogers stencil. And just so you know, this one is CEST073. There's 5 stencils. We have an I Want It All bundle, and then we have them open stock. They're all on sale. All right, let's see what we've got. I think I'm going to start with the pink. So I've got my pink blending brush. I've got my neon pink ink. And I'm going to just go for it. Now I'm not being careful where I put my color. I'm just coloring all my flowers. Is that it? So it's pretty bright. And maybe I'll throw some orange in to go with it. Just gonna put some orange in with some of that pink. Okay, so here I am. Yeah, it's bright, I know, but let's continue. Now I think I will take I'm gonna take the blue. And I'm gonna kind of go over, oh, is that a flower up there? Add a little more pink. That looks like a flower to me. Okay. I'm going to go a little light with my blue, and I'm going to kind of go anywhere I see sky. So any open spaces. And I have dragonflies here, and I have leaves here that I haven't even done yet. Okay, I'm just going to kind of go over my open spaces. Anywhere I see white, I'm just going to add a little bit of blue. A little bit of blue. Blue in my leaves. You're like, really? In your leaves? Yeah, in my leaves. Why not? Blue in my dragonfly. I just want to add a nice soft blue. And because I'm tapping my color off, I'm able to control the intensity of that color. If I went straight from here to there, the color would be very intense. And I'm trying to just have kind of a soft little blue going on. Get rid of some of this white. Because then I'm going to come back with my green. And I've got my neon green now. And now I'm going to go in, and where I see maybe my dragonfly, I'll add a little bit of green there, and a little bit of green to my dragonfly there, and a little bit of green here, and a little bit of green there, and then maybe where my leaves are, I'll add a little bit of green. And again, I'm not trying to stay inside the lines. I've let my hair down. I've decided that it is okay to color outside the lines. I think I've got them all. Really looks a mess, doesn't it? But then I'm going to come back with my blue. You're like, but you already did blue. But I did light blue. Now I'm going to add a little more depth to my blue. And I'm going to add my blue to my dragonfly and mix it kind of with my green. And I've got my dragonfly down here. A little more intense. A little more intense in my blue. Now that I can see where I put my green, anywhere that I think there's open space. And I can come back with my colors as many times as I want. If I want to add more pink, put more pink in. I like my blue and my pink. All right, so I think we've got pretty much a hot mess. Let's see what it looks like. Because you can never judge a book by its cover, can you? Well, you shouldn't. Now, how pretty is that? And if we cut off all the noise, all the extra bits around it that are distracting, take those away. The thing about the neons is while they are bright, they are also very blendable. And I think if you said, I did this with neon inks, somebody would go, really? Neon? Yes, neon. And you saw how easy it was. I didn't keep inside the lines. Who cares about the lines? What lines? The only line you need to follow is the one at the restroom, the ladies' restroom. You don't get in front of women at the ladies' restroom, not ever. I learned that lesson. You just wait your turn. Men don't seem to have that problem at the restroom. But anyway, so, oh my gosh, did I just say that? I did. Okay, no editing on my YouTube, so what you get, you get. Now I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm going to do it on craft paper. So, this is craft cardstock. We have it from the Paper Boutique, which is from Creative Expressions. It is 280 GSM, so it's almost 200 pound. You get 10 sheets. It's ridiculously priced. I mean, it's so low. It's crazy. I'm like, really? Are you sure that's the price? So we bought it. We bought it, and Claire, she used it. So I'm going to do the exact same stencil, and I'm going to do the exact same colors, only I'm going to do it on craft paper. Because I want you to see, I want you to look at apples to apples and see the difference. So I started with my pink, right? Started with my pink. And let's get my flowers all done in pink, and remind me that there's that flower up there. Not trying to stay inside the lines. You control the stencil. The stencil does not control you. Right? So now I went into the orange. And I added a little bit of orange in. And then I went into the blue, and I kind of went all the way around in the blue. And I didn't care if I was getting blue in my leaves. I just wanted blue, a nice foundation of blue everywhere, just to cover up all the craft color. Just to cover it all up, because then I'm going to come back with my green. Okay, let's come in with my green. And I did green on my dragonfly. And I did green leaves. I don't care that I'm going outside the lines. And then I came back with my blue. And I added some blue to my dragonflies. And then I just came back and darkened my blue. Now that I can see where my green is for my leaves. And this is all done with neon ink. And if I want to, I can come back with a little bit more pink just to brighten those colors up. Ooh. Well, I don't know who's calling me, but no. Okay. Let's see what we've got. So exact same color palette. The only thing I changed was the color of my paper. Look at how they're much more muted, soft and beautiful. And because they're so vibrant to start with, when they go on the craft, they don't just dissolve away. They're just lovely. So when you're working on craft paper, you need to start with something that's a little more intense, a little bit brighter. The saturation of the color is a little bit more than maybe what you would use on white paper, because that brown of the craft is just going to absorb that color in. So it needs to have enough color for it to stand out. So get rid of all the noise. Same stencil. Bright, happy, pretty, fun. A little more sophisticated, a little more subdued, a little more, I don't know, trendy maybe? Very pretty. You have options. You choose which you like. And maybe you're not crazy about the neons at all. Then you just use your regular colors. They're just as beautiful with regular colors. Let's put those there. Let's take this and put my neons back, and I'm just going to do this one really quick just so you can see in non-neon-y colors. A little bit softer in the colors. And let's tape it down. So this is the same stencil in the smaller version. There's 3 sizes. You get the beautiful border size too, which is just fabulous when you're just adding a little something something. You just need a little something on the side. Love that size. Let's go ahead and let's do and I'm going to do it in just regular colors. And I think I'll use the back of this for right now. So I just want to get some of my neon-y off, although it's very light. And let's go in and maybe do a little bit of my bubble gum. So now I'm into just regular colors. They're a little softer. And then maybe over the top of that, we add a little bit of, I don't know, maybe some soft vanilla, maybe? I don't know. Let's see what happens if I just put a little bit of soft vanilla on top of that to see if I warm it up just a little bit. Just the centers, just warm up the centers just a little bit. Oh, I'll do this one in yellow up here. Okay. Now I'm going to do it in blue because I'm following the same kind of palette in the same way I did the others. Just so you see apples to apples to apples. And again, I want to kind of keep it soft because I'm going to come in with my green. I'm just trying to get rid of some of my white. I want to make sure that my white is covered with some color. So if I do a super light blue on the background, I can come back in and add my green over the top, but I'm sure that I won't have any glaring white at me. Just want to kind of get rid of that white. So here's where we are. So you can see they're much softer in hue than the brights, than the neons were. Much, much softer. And then let's come in and let's do green. And maybe I'll do green hills. And I'll do some green on my dragonfly. And my leaves. And then I come back in with my blue because that's what I did last time. And we'll add some blue to my dragonfly and blend it with that green. And then I can come back in and I can darken up my blue everywhere else. And last but not least, I think I went in with pink one last time. So bring out my bubble gum. And let's see what we've got. So like I said, it's a little bit softer, not as intense, not nearly as intense. And if I cut it out, I wasn't perfect in my coloring and I'm good with that. Now let's do the same thing with the lighter colors, with the regular colors, the not neon-y colors on craft. So you can see apples to apples. I'd rather you see me do it and say, oh no, that's not for me, or yeah, I love it, than you buy it and then get home and you're disappointed. Nobody wants to be disappointed. There's no disappointment in crafting. So start with my pink. And I'm using the same colors that I used on the white. So apples to apples. It's not fair when people change up colors because it works better on a paper. So a little bit of pink, and then I did a little bit of yellow. Kind of warm that up in the center. And then I did a little bit of blue all over my background, just to get rid of some of that tan color. I don't care that I'm going over my leaves and my dragonfly, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to add some color to both of them. You can see how much ink I'm trying to use to get some color actually on here. And then let's go to my green. I used Green Hill. And let's add some to my dragonfly. And then my leaves. And then let's come back and we'll add some blue to my dragonfly. And then we'll just kind of do some blue and try and darken it up a little bit. So I feel like Scotty saying, Captain, I'm giving her all she's got, because I really am trying to get some color down here, so that you'll be able to see the difference. There I am. And using as much color as I possibly could. I was very generous. I was trying to get as much color down as I could. That's the intensity. And you might like that intensity. But the reason you need the neons, if you're going to play on craft, is if you really want it to show. You need something that has got that vibrancy. So, neon, regular. This is a little brighter, a little bolder, a little softer. Not nearly the difference. I mean, there's a difference, absolutely, but is it, wow, I'm gonna really notice that difference? I'm not so sure. But when you get over to the craft, you're definitely going to notice a difference. Regular inks, which are beautiful, but on craft, the colors just kind of fade away and disappear. And the neons. Now, if you don't want to play on craft paper, well, then you don't really need the neons. But it's beautiful. And it does give you options. You choose. So those are super easy to do. Next, we're going to move to a Studio Light stencil. And I'm going to play with it pretty basic. I want to show you how to use them. This is the second collection of layering stencils, and they don't really layer. You're like, wait a minute, what? So they put all the layering aspects into one stencil, and the reason they did that is to keep them value priced. We have them, we have 4 of them. There's 4 new stencils, and we have them for, on the I Want It All bundle at, I think, $19.99 for all 4 stencils. I want to say they retail for about $6.50, and we did a great, unbelievable price on them. They give you a sample here so you can follow, a sample here so you can follow, and then the others that are in the collection. Now these these you have to be willing to play with Post-it notes. There's no question about it. You have to be willing to play with a Post-it note to work with these. If you're not willing to play with Post-it notes, then don't buy them, because all the different aspects are on one stencil, and that means you're going to have to mask them off. I will tell you what they did do is, let me see if I've got maybe Orchid. They did give you the letter or the numbering system. So I don't know if I can get it up so you can see it. 1A, 1A, 2A, 3A, or ones. So they did number everything for you so you can follow along. So the flower is considered 1. So you have, I don't know if you can see it, but there's 1A, and then there's 1B over here, and then 1C and 1D. And that tells you the order that you're going to use them. Everything is numbered, and once you get a reflection on it, once you get a reflection on it, then you're able to see where your next move is. But you have to be willing to mask things off. So I'm going to go ahead, and I've got my Post-it notes, and I'm going to kind of maybe do my flower maybe right there. And I have to mask everything around my very first stencil. Now it doesn't take long at all, and you can reuse the Post-it notes. You don't have to do them you don't have to get new Post-it notes every single time. But you do have to be willing to mask. Now the results are beautiful, and the price is wonderful. You're talking about $5 for this stencil with our I Want It All bundle. And there, just like that. Not only that, but it holds your paper down. I've masked off, and I've got my very first place to stencil. And I'm going to start super light. Super light. So, maybe I will go ahead and use my bubble gum. So let's start with a pink. And I'm going to keep this super light. Now bubble gum, that's the color. But I don't want it that dark. I want my background to be as light as possible, and every color that, or every new position or new flower that I put on top of it is going to get a little bit darker and a little bit darker. If I start with this one, super dark, let's say I do let's grab Orchid. Let's say I do Orchid, and I'm going to do purple for Orchid, not pink. Let's say I put Orchid down here. And I stencil, stencil, stencil. First stencil is done. And then I said, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a light pink on top of that? Wouldn't that be nice? So I peel up my stencil. There's my first one. Take my masks. I'm going to reuse them. I move over to my next color, or my next stencil, which is right here. And I line it right up. And the way you know you've lined it up properly on this one is you just don't want to see any white paper. You should only see the purple that I just put down, and then I'm going to mask it again. And I'm going to cover up everything that's around it. And I'm just using my same Post-it notes. Now you'll need fewer and fewer Post-it notes the smaller your image becomes, because every time you stencil a new image on top, it becomes smaller. The image becomes smaller and smaller and is adding more and more detail. Oh. So now I'm saying to myself, gosh, I really wanted a light pink as my next color. Okay, well, I've got my pink right here, and I go on top. But nothing's really happening because I started with a color that is darker. You need to build your color in layers. So you start with your lightest color, and then a little darker, and then a little darker, and your very last layer is going to be your darkest color. Now I'll be able to see a little bit of a difference because I added the pink to it, and that'll change the color slightly. But gosh, not really. That doesn't look too great, right? You know what? I'm going to cut that so we can see that. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to start at the beginning. I'm going to keep my Post-it notes. And remember, teaching always takes longer than doing. If I were doing this at a home, well, here, because I don't have a craft room at home. If I was doing this at here and I wasn't teaching you, it certainly would go much, much faster. But I need to show you why we do what we do and how to work with these stencils so that you are successful from the get-go. Now, I don't mind the Post-it notes. For the value that I'm getting in the stencil, I'm okay giving up a few Post-it notes. Cover up all the white paper. Okay, I think I'm good. This time I'm going to start the way I should start, with the light pink. And when I say light, I mean light. You're saying you're not even getting any color on there. Oh, but I am. I want light. I want so soft that it's almost a whisper. So soft, it's almost a whisper. Okay, so let's take it off. I told you there's color there. There's color there. Now let's move to our next stencil, our next layering. Take my Post-it notes, try not to rip them this time, and line up. And I want to be sure that if I line it up and I see white paper coming through, do you see white paper coming through at the top? Oh no, stop, don't go. Whoa, pull back, pull back. Danger, Will Robbins. You've got to align it up so that you don't see any white paper. Each of the layers works on top of the previous layer. You don't want to see white. You only want to see the pink. And then I know I've got it in the right space. And I take my Post-it notes, and down we go. Make sure I don't cover up one of my areas. Okay, that looks pretty good. And this time I'm going to keep with my bubblegum pink. I'm not changing it. Remember how light I went? Just, ooh, so soft. Now I'm going to add a little more intensity in my color. I want it a little bit more intense. One ink pad, many colors. You can play with saturation of your ink pads all by how heavy-handed you are. Just because you have a red ink pad doesn't mean you can't get it to be a softer pink. Just depends upon how heavy-handed you are. And this time, because I want it to be a darker pink, I'm being heavy-handed with it. I really want you to see a difference between the soft pink I started with and the color I have now. I think that's good. So you're saying, well, it still looks pretty darn pink to me, Stacy. I agree. But then let's take the mask off. Let's take the stencil off. And you're going to see that light pink that I started with right underneath it. Right underneath it. It's the same ink pad, just different saturation. Now I need to move along. And knowing that I really can't get too much darker than that on my pink, I need to change to a different color. So I did 1, 2, now I need to do 1C, so let's find 1C. And let's kind of line it on up until we get so line it on up until you can't see any of the soft pink. I don't want to see any of that soft pink under there. None of it, because I want that soft pink, my first layer of pink, to stay my first layer of pink. I've covered it all up. If I move just a little bit, now you can see that soft pink underneath. No, no, no. You need to cover all of that up. And once you can't see that soft pink anymore, and there's no white paper, well, you know you're good. And you can lay down and mask off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm so close. I'm just going to move this one a little bit. So because my area is smaller, I need less Post-it notes. Every time I layer on top, the mask becomes smaller and smaller. And I'm going to choose a different color. Let's go with the orchid. And let me pull my purple. And this time I want to keep it light, 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 because I still have one more layer on top. So I'm going to go with my purple. And I want to keep this is orchid, I want to keep it fairly light. Because the minute I add it to this pink, it's going to change the color. But I don't want it too dark because I've got that one last layer, and that's going to be my darkest layer. So I want the color, but not too much color. I think that's pretty good. It's light. You can still see my pink through it, but it's definitely got a tone of purple to it. Let's see what happens when I take off my... Oh yeah. So you can see that it's building my flower. Now I have one last stencil to do. One last stencil. It's all the way down here at the bottom. And same thing. Now all I want to see is that orchid color. I don't want to see anything that is a different pink. And I'm just going to line it up. Until I've got it all figured out. Nope. Okay, so it's got to be... Oh. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yay! There we go. So I just kind of moved it until now all I see is that orchid color. No light pink, no medium pink, just the orchid color coming through. No white. And then put my masks on it. And this area is the smallest area. Should I reposition them or just use one more? Just use one more. Now I'm all masked off and those Post-it notes hold my paper. And all I'm doing is stenciling that little bit, just that little tiny bit. But I want it to be dark because it's my last layer. I want it to be my darkest layer. And get it as dark as you want it to be. As heavy-handed as you want. Because now I've got my hydrangea. Now all I have to do is add my stem. And it's done. This is not hard. It requires Post-its. It does. And your stem is done in multiple layers. So let's find, okay, so here is where we started with the lightest color first. Remember here where we tried a dark color and then a lighter color over the top? Look at the difference. Big, it's dramatic. Layering the colors in the right order is key. It's so important. And then let's see, my stem goes right there. And same thing, you're gonna mask off so that all you get is that one area. just mask right around it. Let's get it in place. Okay, I think that's pretty close to the right place. And let's take my green. Cover up my purple. Let's grab my green. Maybe we'll try a little bit of fresh lawn. And kind of light with my green. Because then I'm going to pull it up, slide my stem over, line it right back on up, mask down. Really just want to make sure that that stem is covered. The first one that I just did, and maybe a little darker in my green. And then it's got one last stencil. Move it over. Line it up. Mask it off. And this time I'm going to go super dark with my green. Super dark with my green, so that when I peel it off, I've got a stem that's got light, medium, and dark. And then I continue with my leaves. The leaves are the same way. They've given you everything you need to make a beautiful, beautiful image in one stencil. So easy, so pretty. All right, but you need to remember the color layering is important. Where you start, the color you start with, if this is the color I'm going to do, every color on top of this has to be darker. Has to be darker or you're not going to get that beautiful image. So far, we've played with neons. We played with neons on a craft paper, showed you the difference of what will happen with regular ink on craft versus a neon. So you can see the difference that you're going to get. And yes, there's absolutely a difference between these. Both of them are beautiful. It's not as much of a difference as it is when you are on the craft, without question. And then we played with a layering stencil that really isn't a layering stencil. Everything is on one stencil, requiring you to be okay with getting some Post-it notes. They don't have to be good Post-it notes. They just have to be Post-it notes. And when you're all done, now I could go in there and I could finish the leaves and do all the leaves for you, but we gotta move on. We got things to do. Okay. Next, I'm going to put that there. Next, I think I'm going to do this one next. And I'm going to do it super fast. I'm just going to use the medium size. Keep it simple and easy. It's Jamie Rogers Tulip Field Stencils CEST007, and this was the hydrangea, which is, oh, theirs is way too long. It's 124. Their number is super long, but really pretty. All right, so I think I'm gonna do this in the neons. And then I think I will do it in regular. So let's bring it here and tape it down. Now also about stencils. Stencils are also two-sided. So here, this one, easier to see because it's got ink on it. Maybe on the white it's even easier. Easier to see because it's got ink on it. So here I've got my dragonflies facing this way and my flower over here and another dragonfly over there. If I want to do the reverse image, just flip it over. There is no right and wrong to a stencil. You want to have your dragonfly going this way and your flower over here and your other dragonfly here? Absolutely. You decide. You control the stencil. Which way you want it to go. Makes no difference. You be you. So I'm going to do this one in the neons. And I'm going to do it very much like I've been doing. So let's start with some pink. Ooh, bright. Hello. Hello, pink. And I'm just going to go in here. And I'm just going to kind of do. Am I outside my lines? Yes. Am I okay with that? Yes. Are my colors the same everywhere? No. Are flowers the same? The petals the exact same color all the way through? No. Do I want to add some orange? Maybe. Maybe I add a little orange to this. Okay. Now let's do my blue. And my neon. And I'm going to keep it super soft like I did before. And I'm just going to kind of go over anywhere I see white. I'm just going to add a little bit of blue. I'm just trying to get rid of the stark whiteness of it all. And you can see, remember, this blue is actually that color. But look at how soft I have it. That's a dramatic difference. There's blue. Really, there is. But I'm keeping it super soft because I know I'm going to come back with my green. But I just want to get rid of my stark white. That way, if I accidentally miss a space somewhere with the green, I know every place is going to be colored. Well, hello to you too. Did you guys hear that? Somebody was honking. Okay, super light. And then let's go, I'm gonna grab my lids. Let's go with my green. And my green, I'm going to come in here. And kind of do. Now, if you want to be more precise, that's okay. You can. I'm a fly by my seat kind of girl. I'm a let my hair down kind of girl, and I like it that way. Now I'm going to come back with my blue, and I'm going to darken that blue up now that I know where my green is. And I think I'm good. Peel it off and let's see what we've got. Let's get rid of the noise, everything around it. These stencils are wonderful. And with Jamie Rogers, the way he gives you the 3 different sizes, because sometimes cutting a stencil down, it doesn't always work. But each of his 3 sizes utilizes the stencil beautifully, because even the last little one has a flower and has part of a dragonfly. Maybe if you do a big one, it's hard to snip down. Maybe you want the white border around it. But isn't that pretty? And that's done with neons. But I want to take it a step further. I want to go a little bit more. To do that, I'm going to need a squishy, a knock-knock, and a Big Shot machine, a Sizzix Big Shot machine. Now, if you've got a different die cutting machine, as long as you're able to emboss, take a die and emboss a die, you're going to be fine. So if you've got the Spellbinders machine and you've got their new universal cutting mats, you've got everything you need. They gave you everything you need to use it with your Spellbinders machine. You've got a Sizzix machine, you're going to need a squishy and a knock-knock. You can't do it in the old red machines. You need a Big Shot, a Big Kick Plus, a Big Kick Pro, or a Big Shot Pro, a Big Shot Plus, a switch machine. In fact, the reason why these plates were made, the plates that I showed you in the beginning, the reason these plates were made were for people who have a switch machine, because the switch machine comes with such big plates, and if you're doing something small and you send it through, the plates tend to warp. So they brought these out for people who have a switch machine. Now again, it doesn't matter if you buy the Tim Holtz ones or not. They're all the same color. The only thing that's different is the packaging. So if you already purchased these, don't feel you have to run out and get the Tim Holtz ones. They're not any different. And if you didn't get these and you want the Tim Holtz ones because it comes with that free dimensional plate, absolutely. But they were meant to go for people with a switch machine. But they're so useful because now you use the right plate for the right size. Do I need to use a huge plate for this? Do I need to, every time you use something small on a plate that's big, it has more of a chance of warping because there's nothing in there to keep it rigid. More of a chance of warping. So if you do a little die right in the center, there's nothing to keep the plates on either side from warping. There's nothing rigid in there to keep them in shape. So if you have smaller plates now, it's like having the right size block for stamping. You're not going to use a big block like this for a tiny little word that says hello. You have a chance of rocking it, of smearing it. No, if you have a smaller block, you try to use the right size block for the right size stamp. Now you have the right size plates for the right sized die. But this isn't a die. No, it's not. But we're gonna make it do something fabulous. So you saw that we did this one, right? Yay. Now we're gonna go a little bit further. And for that, I need Versamark. Have to have Versamark. Gotta have it. And I'm going to take just a paper towel, and I'm going to put my stencil down. Doesn't matter if I want my stencil this way and my little bud is over here, or if I flip it around and now my little bud is over there. Whatever floats your boat. And I'm going to Versamark the top of my stencil. Versamark is an embossing medium. So it is a liquid that stays wet long enough for you to put embossing powder down and then heat it so that it becomes a solid. Embossing powder is a plastic, and it's a very finely ground plastic, and when you heat it to the right temperature, just like any other plastic, it melts. Embossing powder is wonderful. So I have got Versamark all over. If you're doing any heat embossing, you need a Versamark. I've got Versamark all over my stencil. Now I'm going to bring my machine over. And I've got my standard platform that it comes with. I am not going to be using the solo shim. So your machine also is going to come with a solo shim. If I use the solo shim, it's too thick. I want to do an embossing. And on your platform, it shows you, oh, I want to emboss with a squishy and a knock-knock, a silicone pad and an impression pad. Looky, here's the sandwich right there. I don't use my solo shim. So I've got here, I put down a flat plate. I bring my stencil over with my embossing facing up. So anywhere I put the Versamark, my Versamark is facing up. And then a piece of paper. Paper right over the top. And then my squishy and my knock-knock. This is a silicone pad. You see why I call it a squishy? Because it squishes. This allows you to take a die that has an embossing feature in it and emboss it as opposed to cut the die or add the embossing feature to your die cut. Then you need a knock-knock. See why I call it a knock-knock? This is an impression pad. These two items are two peas in a pod. We sell them together. If you take care of them, you should never have to replace them. If you cut into this, it's self-healing. Don't worry about it. Just keep using it. But really, these are tools, and you should have them if you are a die cutter. There's a reason for them. I put my impression pad, my knock-knock, right on top, so I'm not using another clear plate. My squishy and my knock-knock take the place of my clear plate, and then I'm going to send it on through. My squishy's going to start coming out the back end because that squishy is being compressed down by the roller in my machine. When I'm rolling it through, you saw how it squished up. It's being pushed down by the roller, and it's making an embossing happen. See, it's coming out the back end. Let's move it over. Pull up, pull up. You can already see that it's embossed. I don't know if the camera will get it, but you can see that it's embossed. The difference is it embossed with Versamark. I am now able Let's get a, oh, we'll use this. Do you think that's big enough? Probably not. Let's get a piece of paper. I'm now able to take embossing powder. And put embossing powder over this. And where the Versamark is, you see it transferred a little color, no big deal. Where the Versamark is, my embossing powder is going to stick. Ooh, I should have made it wider. Let's see if I can get it back in. Tap, 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 and dump, dump, dump. Very little embossing powder. A little there, a little there. I think I'm gonna live with it. So I didn't use an anti-static, and frankly, I'm gonna live with it. Okay, well, I'm good enough. It is not perfect. There's a couple little lines in my, and if I had a little paintbrush, I guess I could get rid of them. I've got my little tweezers. I could go in there and try to break up my little lines and get my little dots off. Frankly, I'm fine with it. And I don't care about what's outside my border because that's going to get cut off anyway. So let's go ahead and heat set this. Let me put this back. Very little embossing powder. Embossing powder lasts you a really long time because you use so little of it. Now, I use detailed embossing powder for almost everything. There are different types of embossing powders. Yes, absolutely. Do I want a little bit more there? No. Well, maybe. There's different types of embossing powder. Detailed embossing powder is ground finer than a standard embossing powder. It's the same color black, but it's ground finer. That means it's able to hold detail better. There's a lot of detail in these stencils. If I was using a standard embossing powder, the granules are a little bit bigger. And so when you melt it, it spreads a little bit more because it's a plastic. Think about when plastic melts. It goes whoop. It spreads whoop. Sound effects required, people. Whoop. So if your granules are bigger, they're gonna whoop more. I want detailed embossing powder so it holds on to every little curve and every little cling, and when it melts, it stays where it is. So let's heat. I need a heat tool. You cannot use, look at my poor heat tool. Look at all my fingerprints on it. You cannot use a blow dryer. A blow dryer is not going to get hot enough. And frankly, if you use this on your hair, you won't have any left. And I'm going to heat set. I'm going to start in one place. And then I'm going to move it along. And you can see where there's a shine, where there's a gloss, it's been the heat has been there long enough to melt it into a solid. Where it's matte, you still need to add heat, because if you do not, that's what you get. Versamark is not a glue. It is an embossing medium. So if you don't heat long enough, it will wipe away, and that's it. You start all over again, which is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start all over again. But I wanted you to see that you have to heat. Anywhere I did not heat enough, it'll just wipe right away. For those of you who haven't seen embossing powder before, and I have to assume that there are people out here who have not seen embossing powder before, well, now you know why you have to heat it, because it is a powder and it will change into a solid. Okay, I'm wiping down my stencil because it's got Versamark on it, but then I'm just going to ink it right back up. So, paper towel. Maybe I'll do this side this time. Versamark. Make sure you get your corners really good. I tend to miss my corners. You're like, how can you miss them? You're using a big pad. Don't ask me. I have no idea. I think I've got, see, but it's got like this border around it. I think the pad goes edge to edge and it doesn't. All right, I think I've got enough Versamark going on. Bring over my platform. I'm not going to use the solo shim. I'm going to put down my little plate. I could use a bigger one if I want. It's really up to you. Since we're embossing and we're not die cutting, it's not going to warp anything. I'm embossing, not die cutting, so there's no warpage. I go there. I go there. Squishy. Gets compressed. Knock, knock. Adds the correct thickness so the roller hits it. Bring over my machine. Send it through. Ooh, look at the squishy coming out the back end. That's how you know you're doing it right. See that squishy grow and grow and grow. As it's being compressed, it's coming out the back end. You want the squishy to come out the back end. That's how you remember. Off, off, off. I can see that it's embossed. Well, it's actually debossed, but let's not get into... Gosh, I could just take that and I could color over the top in the debossed areas. Anyway, we're not going there. Let's see if I can make a little bit of a less mess here with my black. I tend to put it across the top. And then I kind of let it walk on down and fill in the space. I let gravity do my work for me. Need a little bit more there. I didn't miss my corners. Tap, tap, tap. Anywhere that I have a little bit that I don't want, I can come in there. A paintbrush is usually a better idea, but since I've got my tweezer here, that's what I'm going to use. Oh, and I just stuck my finger in it. Man. But look! Look, Ma! All right, I think I'm going to be okay with this. We're just going to go. And look, hopefully I didn't make nearly as much of a mess as I did last time, but almost all my embossing powder goes right back in. Put my lid on so I don't spill. I'm not going to worry about any on the outside because that's going to get cut off anyway. If I want to get rid of anything on the inside. Easy enough. And now let's heat. And this time I'm going to heat it all the way through. And as I can see it turning, I'm moving my heat tool. Okay, that looks pretty good. So you can see a gloss, but you know where there isn't a gloss? Down there. Can you see somewhere in this area? It's not shiny. It's kind of dull. That means that I haven't added enough heat yet to that little area right down here. That's how you know, oh yeah, that's not shiny. I have to go back and heat that more. And then I can look around and say, oh, yep, there it is. Now this is not perfect. You could use an anti-static that would get rid of all your little dots and doodads, but I'm not going to worry about them. Now that I've got it embossed, I'll make sure I got it everywhere. Yep, it's good. Now that I've got it embossed, let's color. And we'll go back and we'll do the same. So I'm going to start with my neon pink. Now you're saying, Stacy, why didn't you just do this on black paper? Well, you can't color on black paper with regular dye-based ink. No, no, no. Black paper would absorb the color. Won't work. And then, ooh, let's add a little bit of orange. And then let's add a little bit of blue, kind of all over. Keep it kind of light. And the embossing powder resists the ink. So I could have used like a gold embossing powder or a copper or a silver, and the ink that I'm using will be, the embossing powder will resist it because the embossing powder is a plastic. So it's a non-porous type of product. And dye-based ink is looking for something porous to seep into. It does not like plastic or glass or anything like that. It needs something porous. And since the embossing powder is not, it won't adhere to it. And then let's do some green. And then let's come back with a little bit more blue. And anywhere I need to add a little more color, I do. Okay, we good? Okay, now let's get rid of the noise. Let's just chop it all off. Or, no, we'll go ahead. We're going to chop it all off. So now I have white versus black. So this is just the stencil. Can't use black paper because the ink will just absorb into the black, into the, it won't stand out. There's just no way. Black paper and dye-based ink don't work together. The color absorbs in, and because black is black, it absorbs every color in the spectrum. But if I use my stencil as an embossing folder, using my squishy and my knock-knock, I'm now able to transfer that image and emboss it in black and then color. Which one do you like better? You don't have to choose. You can do both. But wait, let's leave this one the way it is. And let's bring this one over. And I'm going to take and I'm going to Versamark the whole thing. So make sure my colors are really good, really bright, really vivid. I'm really happy with them. And you can see the colors have blended into purple on there and orange. I mean, it's beautiful, right? These are neon colors. I'm going to take my Versamark and I'm going to Versamark my entire image. And do my entire image. Okay, we're good. Now I can take clear embossing powder, transparent, detailed embossing powder. And let's go right over the top. And you can see it's clinging to it. It almost has a haze over it now. Almost a haze over it where this embossing powder is. And you're like, what did you do? Oh, but wait. Let's dump all this back. Put my lid on. And let's heat set. See, if I hadn't cut it out, I could hold it down. And that transparent embossing powder is going to melt into something that looks almost glazed. Almost glazed. Not heat set, heat set. No, I'm not going to put my hands on it. I want to finish this one. And as I move, I can see it turning. Can you see it turning? Can you see the color become vibrant and alive as that transparent embossing powder is melting? Now, how long does it take for embossing powder to dry? Well, as soon as your project is cool, as soon as it's cool to the touch, so is your embossing powder. Now that's awful pretty, but I don't want it as dimply as it is. So it's got a few little dimplies in there. It's pretty, it's shiny, but I can make it shinier. How? I just go back with my Versamark. Another coat of Versamark. Paper towel, please. Thank you. Another coat of Versamark. It's not going to hurt what's already down there. The ink is now encapsulated inside that Versamark, or inside the embossing powder. Let's just go and make sure I get everywhere. And then let's wash, rinse, and repeat. Clear embossing powder. Kind of let it walk itself on down. Pretty much covers everything up when you do that. Get good coverage, easy peasy. Bring it back. Now, is it only these stencils that you can do this with? No, of course not. Gosh, can you imagine all the beautiful stencils, the Christmas stencils from the Crafters Workshop that you could do these techniques with? Absolutely. Put it back. Put my lid on because I'm known to tip. And let's go again. And every time I put a layer of embossing powder, it's thicker. Why am I not using an ultra thick embossing powder? Well, because I don't want it to run. I don't want it to move out. And I don't want it to yellow. I want nice, pretty, bright colors. And the thicker the powder, the more yellowy it can be. As I move it, my color turns. Let it sit for a second to cool off. And once it's cooled off, now, oh, look at that. Holy smokes, artichokes, right? And if I wanted to, I could add another coat until I build up the layer to where I've got that gloss the way I want it, almost like a reflection in glass. Okay. Let's remember, we did that with this. Let's not forget where we started. We started with this. And look at where we're going. And those are neon ink. Again, the colors are so vibrant that as you add mediums on top of it, they hold the color. Darker, if you're using darker, more intense inks, that will help. Stay away kind of from the pastellies. It makes it a little too soft. But look at that shine. Wow. Okay, but we need to move on. There's more to do. But wait, there's more, and there is. Okay, I'm gonna go back this time, and I'm gonna use another one of the, I'm gonna use this one. I don't know what this flower is. A cosmos. Okay, I'm not big on flowers. I don't know what they are, but I'm gonna use this one. So I've got all the letters, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. So the 1s go together, the 2s go together, the 3s go together. So let's see, where's 1A, or 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D. These are all going to go together. 3A, 3B, 3C. They're all going to go together. So they've marked them for you, and they are marked on the stencil as well. Let's get a piece of paper. Okay, so totally different looks. Same stencil. Love that. I could do this also. I could put clear embossing powder all over this one too. I just didn't. So let's start. Let's take a look. And I'm going to do maybe a couple of these so that we have compare and contrast. All right, so I want to look for the side that has the, oh, there they are. They're etched in there. I need my Post-it notes. I'm going all the way around. And how about we start with our orange this time? Hello, orange. Thank you very much. And I've got my little tapper offerer. I'm going to use a neon. I'm just going to go really soft with it. Because remember, you've got to start with a soft color, almost a no color. You just need a whisper. You're taking loud ink, loud neons, and making them whisper. All by controlling the saturation. Okay, there it is. But there it is. And there it is. I'm gonna do a few of these. While I'm doing them, I'm just gonna, since I've got it masked, I'm just gonna do a few of them so we can play. I'll just do each layer at a time. I'm gonna keep them all the same color so we have apples to apples to apples. Okay, there's number 2, and let's cut one more sheet of paper. Just because we can. So I've got 1, 2, and if I were going to make several cards, this is how I would do them. I wouldn't do one flower at a time. You've got your masks down. I'd just do them. Okay, good. So then I'm gonna, now since I'm on this one, I'll just stay on this one. Take my masks off, and I'm going to line up. Now on this one, the nice thing about this, and let me pull the liner out so it doesn't have that glare. The nice thing about it is they give you a lineup point. So I don't know if you can see that black line is the same black line that's there, and the same black line that's down here, and the same black line that's up here. This is your lineup point. This is your reference, so you know where to put your next flower. It tells me, oh, they all line up right there. I just make them all line up right there. So I'm going to take this one. I see that little reference point is right here, and I'm just going to line it up. And bam, look at that. I don't see any white. I don't want to see any white. It should cover the whole thing up. It lined up easy peasy for me. And now I mask it down. 1, 2, oh my, I think I just heard a firework. I hope not. Folks, we live in sunny California. I've already lost my house once to a fire. No fireworks, please. I'm going to use my same orange, and I'm going to go darker this time. My same orange, and I'm going to go darker. Adjust that saturation. Okay, so there's one. I'm just going to do them all. That's where we're at. I've got them. I can line it up. I've already got my masks done. Perfect. Perfect. 2 is now done. Line it on up. I feel like it's sticking in a hole there, so it's not letting me move it. There we go. Down. A little bit darker. Okay, so now I've got 3 the same. I'm just going to stick with this one, and we'll move to our next stencil. Pull these off. Move to this one down here because that tells me that's the next one. Line it up down at the, look at that. Bing, bang, boom. Mask. And this time I think I'm going to change my color. I don't know what we're going to get. We're just going to try. And I'm going to go to that pink, the neon. Worst case is that we hate it. And it's only white paper. So I'm going to go a little light with my pink. So it's going to change that orange color. I couldn't see any white. It lined up right on top of the last color that I did. I can't see any of my light neon orange. I can only see that middle color. Okay. Oh, that's coming out super pretty. Okay, there's one. Let's go to 2. Line up that bottom. Gosh, these are easy. I need my, there we go. My pink. So we don't prep anything here in advance. It's probably why my classes are so long. But this is a good way for you to see and learn. This is really about teaching the product. Even if you don't buy any of these stencils, that's fine. Yay! Do you have stencils that you can now use this technique with? Okay. Number 2, done, and you can see all 3 colors coming through. Last one. You're like, why did she have to do 3 of them? I have a reason. Well, I'm hoping I have a reason. We'll find out. You just never know what you're gonna get. Life's like a box of chocolates. And when you don't edit your videos, you just go, go, go. Take them in the order that they've marked them for you. Okay. So I'm in the same place on all 3 of them. And that's beautiful just the way it is. Oh my gosh, but there's still one more to do. That very, very, very top one. If you can believe it, this little itty bitty bit right there, that little itty bitty bit is the finishing touch. So line it up because that's what it told me to do. I don't want to see any color with the exception of the one I just did. So I don't want to see any color with the exception of that pink that I just did. I don't want to see any orange, any light orange. I only want to see pink. And that is all I see. Now I'm going to go super dark with this pink because it's my last color. I really need it to stand out. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? I don't know, I'm a little nervous. That's a bright, 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 but you know what? No guts, no. Oh, okay, that looks good. Yay, okay. Yay, let's do this one. I'm gonna do them all. I'm gonna line it up because it tells me to. I'm going to make sure that no other color is showing through. Can you see I've only got that pink? If I did that, can you see that there's orange coming through and some white coming through? That's not right. I need to get it to where all I see is the pink. I don't want to see any other color. No color. No, no, no. I don't want to see any other color. I just want to see my pink. Line it up. down. Dark, 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 dark. Now I'm not nearly as afraid of it now that I've seen it. Those are all neon colors. Done. And then my so here's the difference between layer 2, with 3 layers, and with 4 layers. Just so you can see the difference between them. This has 1, 2, and 3. This has 1, 2, and 3, 4. Let's add 4 to this one, and then we're going to move on. So maybe by doing 3 of them like this, you can see the speed of what you actually can do. Okay. So I now have apple to apple to apple, right? Apple to apple to apple, all the same. But now I want to change them again. I'm going to leave one of them just the way it is. I'm going to leave that one just the way it is. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one just the way it is. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to grab that stencil again. That first stencil where we laid down that lightest color. And I'm going to go right over the top of it. I'm just going to line it right back up. Mark it down. And I'm going to take my Versamark. I think I'm going to use my little mini one. I'm going to use my mini one so it doesn't just get everywhere. I'm going to take my mini one. Same product, just a mini size versus a big size. Does the same thing. Both of them are refillable. You can get a re-inker for them and ink it up. Absolutely. It is not a glue. Okay, I think I got it all. Pull my stencil off. My clear embossing powder. And anywhere I've got that Versamark, my embossing powder is going to stick. You can see that it's stuck because now it's kind of muted in its color. It's got this haze over it. But the minute I add heat and melt my embossing powder, that color is going to burst right on through. So let's grab my heat tool and as I'm going over it, the color is going to burst on through. So look at the difference. The embossed side, the non-embossed side. Glossy and bright and happy, dull, needs heat. So glossy, shiny, ooh, but I can do it again. Maybe I want a thicker coat. Maybe I want it to be more shiny. Maybe I don't want the little, like the little orange peel divots in there. They're just like a little orange peel skin. So what do? I line it back up and wash, rinse, and repeat. Trying not to get any straight lines from the mini. I think that's probably more than enough. Pull it off. Boy, I didn't have it down very good. Second coat. Double emboss, triple emboss. I know people who will only double emboss. I know people who love to triple emboss because they want that glossy, almost reflective, glazed look that you just can't get anywhere else. And you need the detail to do that because you don't want it to be too big. I don't want it to spread outside the lines of my image. So the thing about detailed embossing powder is you can always do a big image like this with detail. But you can also do super fine words with detail. With regular embossing powder, you can't do those fine words. You can't do that fine detail. Look at the glaze on that. It's almost perfect. I guess I could come back through and do one more. But look at it, makes it pop. It's like a spot varnish. You pay good money for paper that's spot varnished. Specialty paper from all the manufacturers where they've got a place on their 12 by 12 paper that's spot varnished and now the paper's $2.50. Well, my gosh, grab your Versamark pen and go in there and spot varnish your own paper. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one. Remember, I left this one plain. I'm going to leave this one just the way it is. I've got this one that's got a spot varnish on it. And now let's do this one. I'm going to bring my mask on back. I'm going to line it up again. I'm going to wash, rinse, and repeat. I'm going to use a little bit of my just going to do the center. And instead of using clear embossing powder, I'm going to use crystal embossing powder. Crystal embossing powder is a translucent powder that's got sparklies. Yes, sparklies is a word. So it's going to heat to clear, but it's going to leave behind the sparklies. So I only did like some of the center, not the whole flower. Can you see the sparklies? It's glitter without it being everywhere. Oh, it did get over. Well, no, I got most of it off. I just kind of want it in my center. And I think I've got it just in my center. I don't know, let's see. All right, all we can do is try. It's only paper. So I'm gonna heat, and instead of it just going transparent like it's been doing, this is gonna go transparent with a glitter. Now I've got a little bit of glitter in the center. Can you see that? I could have done the entire flower. Let's go back. I've got this one. So I've got this one that's completely glazed. This one that's glazed with a little bit of glitter in the center. Just when you're looking at it straight on, you can't tell there's glitter. When you're looking at it straight on, it just looks like a beautiful flower. You don't know that there's glitter until you move it. So when you're giving a card or you're putting it as an embellishment, it looks beautiful, but then they move it and all of a sudden there's that, oh my gosh, right? So here, this one's completely glazed over, which adds a pop. This one, you've got the glitter in the center, where when you look at it straight on, you don't see the glitter. Let's do this one. Line it on up. Versamark on down. I'll do the whole thing. Okay, I think I'm good. Let's get the glitter. It's called Crystal, is what it's called. And it's a glittered embossing powder, but it's a transparent base. And because you've got the stencil acting as a mask, you only get it on the flower. So I've only done part of it. You can see the gloss. And when you look at it straight on, you're not going to see the glitter until you start to move it. And it's not glitter. It's not, woo, hello, I'm glitter. Hello, look at me. Wink, wink, wink. It's hey, how you doing? Aren't I pretty? I like being pretty. That's what this is. This is pretty. Not such an attention grabber. got glittered over the whole thing. Glitter in just some areas. It's like you got a new pair of shoes that you want to show off. You know, they look really good. They're not too blingy. They're not too far out. You want people to notice them, but you don't want them to notice them because they're crazy. You want them to notice them because they're beautiful. That's what this does. It takes these flowers and you notice them because they're beautiful to begin with, but then you add a little something something to them, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, are those new? I haven't seen those before. Wow, they look great on you. That's what this embossing powder does to these beautiful images. Could I then go over and add a gloss over this? I don't know. We gotta call the, yeah, well, let's see. Somebody's ringing my phone. I'm busy. Could I I've got the glitter down. I don't know that I want to add more glitter to it. And I might be ruining this. We'll have to see. There are some times where I go one step too far. I just take it, but it's white paper. It's like, nope. And then I laugh and I move on. Yeah, nope. Don't do that. Let's take the clear embossing powder, not the glitter, because I don't want to add any more glitter to it. It's glittery enough. I want them to say, ooh, aren't those pretty? Are they new? Not, holy smokes, Stacy, what'd you buy? Okay, so I took the transparent and put it over the glitter. Let's see if I get a high gloss and glitter finish. Why not? Ooh, why yes. Yes, I do. Don't you love just playing? Never knowing exactly how things are going to turn out, but just hoping for the best. And I didn't even do the stems. Okay, let me find, oh, here. Okay, so pretend I did the stems. There's one sample. When this is all done, that's what it looks like. Pretend I did all of that. Shh. But I wanted to show you all the different things. And this is neon ink. Hello, neons. You never looked so good. Who knew, right? So we have totally played with these stencils. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. They're simple. They're easy. I think we can get more of the creative expressions, but I think on the studio lights, when they're done, they're done. Showed you the different, I love it on the craft paper, and the craft paper is so inexpensive. I was like, are you sure that's the price? And they're like, uh-huh. I said, okay, great, yay for me, which means yay for you. So many different things to be done with something as simple as a stencil. Love this. That just makes my heart happy. But I love these too, and when they are all done, they'll be beautiful. And we'll finish them. It's just stunning. It really is. Okay, wow, that was a lot. And again, neons. It doesn't have to be Hero Arts neons. I know that I think Memento makes neons, but they're fun to play with. They only come in the 4-pack or in the big pads. We have a few of these. We don't have tons of them, But I'm hoping that you are able to go shop a local independent retailer for these. Just like we will have the embossing powders, all the detailed. We'll have the gold, the silver, the black, the white, the transparent, the copper, and we'll have the crystal. We'll have them all on sale, absolutely. I'm hoping that you're able to go to your local independent retailer, a mom and pop shop like us, who isn't really high on the food chain when it comes to crafters, crafting stores. Go see if they've got it. If not, have them call Stamp Pandas and have them ship into them. I want you to support your local independent store because we are so few and far in between. It's crazy. Yes, we're a for-profit business, absolutely, but we also are a for our industry business. Absolutely. Versamark will have it on sale, but chances are you can get that at your independent local retailer. So we'll have the neons on sale. We'll have all the embossing powders on sale. We'll have the Versamark on sale. I'll do the blending brushes. We'll do the mediums and the larges on sale. And let me get all this out of the way. I've got the craft cardstock from Creative Expressions. I don't know why it's so inexpensive. You get 10 sheets for somewhere a little over $3. A4. It's what I did these on. It's what Claire used. For that price, invest in some craft cardstock and give yourself the opportunity to play. I mean, you're talking, I think it's $4.50 and then 20% off. That would be 90 cents. So that would make it $3.40 for 10 sheets. Okay, yay! I think that's what it is. Then we've got 5 stencils from Jamie Rogers. There's an I Want It All, but there's also the open stock. They're so beautiful. You get all 3 sizes. And then I have the 4 from Studio Light. Now, Studio Light were limited. We bought all we could. Everything's shipped in. It's here. When they're gone, they're gone. They retail for $6.50 each. We'll put them on sale, but the I Want It All bundle will be $19.99, and you'll get all 4 stencils. They're yummy. We'll do a squishy and a knock knock. We'll put that on sale too because you're going to need that. Gosh, if there's any of the Tim Holtz stuff you want and you want the YouTube Yummy stuff expedited, you've got to have separate orders. All right, let's do samples. Let me go up just a little bit, out of my way there. Pretty. They're pretty. I like pretty. Pretty makes my heart happy. That's beautiful. That's the Jamie Rogers. It's beautiful. This one is beautiful. That's the Studio Light. It's just beautiful. This is one of the roses. This is the rose from Studio Light, and they cut it out. Wait till you see there's a beautiful rose over in the other group, I think. Look at just the side panel. Just the side panel from Jamie Rogers. So his stencils are more. You get 3. I think they retail for $11. So that would be $55. I think the I Want It All is like $44. There's a big difference between the pricing of Studio Light. Look at the rose. Isn't that beautiful? That's the Studio Light. It's a big difference between the pricing. The Studio Light gives you the layering options. Oh my gosh. The Jamie Rogers gives you the different sizes. How soft and sweet is that? . They're just lovely. Look at the sunflower. And it's got the glitter on it. Ooh. It doesn't say glitter until you move it. Okay. Isn't that beautiful? That's the cosmos that I was doing today. And then Claire did this on the craft paper. She put together, I almost hate to open it, she put together a folio. So she used the size. This is the size that I was using. And she put together just, and there's the bookmark, and that's one of the sizes you get. She put together just a beautiful little folio. Look at, she's stenciled here and she's stenciled there. She just took elements from the stencils and added it into the paper. Clever, right? That's not paper, that's the stencil that she did. I mean, she picked a pretty paper, a plain muted paper, but then she stenciled on it. This is gorgeous. And then your little bookmark. Love it, love it, love it. And then I love this one. How beautiful is this? Right? The colors are amazing. And here, cherish every moment. Look at how stunning is this. Oh, here's the rose. That is magnificent. I don't know who did this rose, but well done. Oh my gosh. That's the Studio Light. That's the Studio Light rose. This one. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, and here where they did it on craft again. Or maybe, yep, nope, goes this way. The little hello. Look at on the craft in those vibrant colors that the craft just really enjoys and likes. So Elena, so I did this when I was playing, and Elena ended up making it into something. When these first came in, I needed to play, because I try them first. I buy like 3 or 4, and I say, do I like them or do I not like them? And then if I like them, then we book them for a YouTube. Yeah, manufacturers, they can't pay for a YouTube. They can't, they can't bribe. All they can do is make really cool product. If you make really cool product and we like it, then we show it. But it has to do what it says it's going to do. There has to be value to it. Look at this. This is gorgeous. There has to be value to it. And it has to be something that's accessible to everybody. All right, you guys. No layouts. I'm so sorry. The Tim Holtz dropping at the last minute put us in a holy smokes artichokes position. So remember, if you love the Tim Holtz, absolutely, we've got the 2 bundles for you. They're value priced. We're going to throw in a freebie. You're getting a huge discount on brand new, just released product. Love, love, love. If you don't mind that it doesn't expedite ship, you can add it with anything else that you love, love, love. If you want it to expedite ship, it has to go separately. Same with the Crafters Workshop. Creativity starts with the Crafters Workshop. Remember, the Tim Holtz plates, the multi-sizes, are exactly like the ones we did for Sizzix last week. The only difference is this piece of paper. That's it. But if you really want Tim's, absolutely. Nope, no problem. We're selling them as a 2-pack because I think you need 2 of the 6x6, 2 of the extended. These extended will not go through your, oh, hello. These extended will not go through your Sidekick machine. These are only for a Big Shot Plus, a Big Shot Pro, a switch machine, especially for a switch machine, a big kick. Gosh, these are the extendeds for your Sidekick machine, and we'll have these as well. So you've got the Crafters Workshop to look at, you've got Tim Holtz to look at, you've got YouTube to look at. Who knew there'd be so much in 1 week? Not me. Oh my gosh, we have been working so hard to get all of it up and still get you your orders and still get all the expediting. I think that, so the Sidekick machines have been started to send over to Sizzix. So if you have an awaiting fulfillment order on your Sidekick, that means it's already been sent. If you don't yet, just wait. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And the Stampendous, the Stamp It Up with Stampendous orders are done and are going out. I mean, we're just trying. You've never seen so few people work so hard, and I so appreciate my staff. They work so hard. There's so few of us, and they just put in 110% every single day. We will be closed on 4th of July. My staff deserve they deserve a paid day off. So we are closed. We will not be here. They're taking a lovely paid day off, and they deserve it. So if you wanted to come by 4th of July, I'm sorry, we will not be here. We'll be fishing or something. All right, it's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Where are you going to find all of this product? Well, if you don't find it at your independent local mom and pop shop like us in the Taco Bell Plaza here in Canyon Country, then shop with us online. We would greatly appreciate your support and value you as a customer. Thanks so much, you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.